Oops. Is this going to reach? I don't know if it's going to reach. You know what? I don't need it. I don't need it. It's fine. Hey. Hey, folks. I may even put on some earrings. Go figure. Earrings and rings and things. So, I am showing up at the right place at the right time. Is that right? Right. Leslie and Danielle, yes. It's... Nope, that was yesterday. 10 o'clock. TikTok live. Okay, whoo! It's been a wee bit of a morning. So hello, Danielle, and Spreading Sunshine, and damn it, Donna. Damn it. And Grace, and Ace, and Stephanie, and Leslie. Oh, from Amtrak headed to NYC. How fun is that? Who's your daddy and who's your mama? And Dana, nice to see you. And Debbie, very nice to see everybody. I'm just getting myself started. Some of you may notice, because I am, and I'm still kind of checking it out. It's the first time I've seen it. I got my hair cut just moments ago. Not sure about this right here, but oh my gosh, I said, thank you, Leslie. I got them, my husband got them for me for our anniversary. Basically, I bought them on our anniversary, and I said, look what you just gave me. So thank you. Yeah, I think they're kind of fun. I was going to say something, can't remember what it is, but nice to see everybody. Check that off. TikTok live, check. Reschedule. And yeah, hair is on point. Well, yeah, it's going to be the crispiest it is because I just came from my guy Phil, who rocks. So yes, but I'm excited. That was what I was going to say, is I said to him, because it had been a while, we talk about with decluttering, making a plan, and then some plans don't happen. He and I tried the last time I got a haircut to do 2 appointments in a row, and immediately the second appointment was like, no, you want to go traveling instead. Oh, Danielle. Oh, let's all give some hugs to Danielle. She lost her kitty on Sunday, and not lost like in Lost and Found. Oh, hugs. Hugs. He got attacked by my parents' dog. Oh, that's... Oh, hun. Oh, hun. 3 pets in less than a year. That is tough. We were literally just talking about when pets pass and how tough that is. So, hugs, hun. Hugs. Feel free to cry. No. What the guilt? There's nothing you could do about it. Animals are going to be animals, and dogs are going to eat cats sometimes, and it's going to happen. Let yourself off the hook. Keeping yourself on the hook is just going to make you feel worse. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, okay? We're all here with you. Things happen. Making yourself feel bad about it is just going to make yourself feel worse. Leslie is saying, we are cat people here too. I'm so sorry you are a devoted, loving owner. Yeah, and I mean, my goodness, it's only been a few days. It's only been a few days. Allow yourself a chance to heal. Kind of like if you had a wound on your arm or something. Clean it out. Don't leave any bad stuff in there, okay? Clean it out. Don't leave any guilt, any shame, any bad stuff that's going to fester and stay under the surface and then erupt later. I mean, that's gross, like with pus and stuff. HR pus and stuff. Oh, that's gross. This is how I deal with grief sometimes, is I joke my way out of a corner. But I offer to you, please, clean it out. Make peace with yourself about it. Allow it to heal and allow the scab to form. Don't pick at it. Don't pick at it and keep it alive. Just allow it to heal naturally. You can't rush it. Has anybody ever tried to rush having something heal and make a scar? Make sure it doesn't leave a scar. Know that there's going to be another kitty in your future who will not be the same as this kitty. They can never replace, but they can be their own cat. And when the time is right, perhaps what do they call that? Like the animal, when people come across animals, like the kitty delivery service will deliver one into your life. Yes, and Laura Gibbon Voorhees, what a good idea. Tears wash out the stuff. Yeah, tears are like the antiseptic that will wash out the sadness and the grief. Cat distribution system. There you go. Okay, and I love it. The cat mama likes the cats. So thank you all. Trust that when the time is right, the universe will send a cat via the cat distribution system. And death is a heartbreak. Death of anybody and any little creature. Hugs, hon. Hugs. We're here for you. Look at how much support you have. And none of us have ever even met each other in person, but that's okay. Our hearts have little vibes, and our vibes of comfort are going to go out to you. And yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I hope I hope our time today will distract you from your pain so that maybe when you go back to it, it won't be as big as you thought it was. Okay? Oh, hey, interesting. No, I haven't seen it because I was out getting my hair cut and then I hopped into the shower and then I showed up here. Kara, who, as you know from the TikTok live yesterday, has made some astronomical money from stuff that she had inherited. So she's decluttering and making money. But Kara is offering. I posted a video with you, me, us, and this group in mind, doing a million things today. So how about this? Everybody, I'm going to write a note here. Before we sign off at 11 a.m., I'm going to remind ourselves to all head over to Kara's. It says Kara's Garden, and she's got the little like ferns on it. Kara's Garden and her TikTok page, and let's watch her video and give it a like, okay? Monk is saying, I look amazing today. Well, thank you. You know what? It's amazing what a shower and a haircut will do. A shave and a haircut, 2 bits. But thank you. I'm feeling pretty good, and the weather is good, and I unexpectedly have a whole swath of free time ahead of me, and I don't know what I'm going to fill it with. I haven't decided yet, but I know it's going to be something good. I will also clue you all in. Those of you on the mailing list, you know this already. The mailing list group, maybe I'll start calling it the group, is tonight is a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, so we're going to have a YouTube live at 8. Okay? I love it, as if we were two minds at the same time. Kara says, I'm going to check in at your 8 p.m. live. Let's see what I can get done. More listed, 2 solds, and savers too. So that's a fun thing. Notice that I was looking at my calendar, my daily calendar from here to 8 p.m. and saying, I have this amount of time. What am I going to do in it? Kara was looking at the same amount of time in her schedule and using that kind of, I don't like to use the word container. That feels very, very jargony to me. That, what do I want to think? Boundary of time. That chunk of time. That's me, chunk. That chunk of time between now and 8 p.m., she's using some of that chunk of time to say, let's see what else I can get done. Maybe I'll get some things listed. Things might sell. I'm going to take a trip to Savers. So I ask you, you've got a chunk of time today. It may not be as open and wide as mine, or you may, but you may have some things scheduled. What could you do today that if you decided to tune in and check in at our 8 p.m. YouTube live, what are some things you would like to show up and share that you got done? You can write it in the comments. It's better to write it to yourself. Okay? Uh-huh. No, I love it. Barbara Dean says, loving the 8 p.m. time to work here today and listen. Okay, good. Awesome. I can't do I don't do the evening ones often, but, I have the TikTok live scheduled, and I got to bring up the page myself because my head, earlier yesterday, the calendar in my head did not match the calendar on my computer or my paper. So I like to just double check my sources. And I will offer to you, there we go, that, oh goodness, yeah, tomorrow morning we have a declutter party. Today is Wednesday, June 4th, 8 a.m. TikTok Live. So yeah, that's interesting. So I have TikTok Lives scheduled on my calendar after Saturday. I will post them, and I have, I'm going to post them every week. There we go. Leslie came to this TikTok with my pen and paper. Okay, hello, Bobby, and Kara's Garden is saying, where do you sell things? So Pat, if you want to answer Pat, that would be great. So Leslie, here's what I would have you write down if you wanted to take some good keeper notes just as a general framework to get started. If you wanted like the OG process. And then writing down any inspirations is always good. Starting, and again, I like to use the word down, and of course, if we haven't met yet, I jumped right in, as I often do, because I see a lot of familiar names and faces. Not faces, they're really tiny. I can barely see things. All right, so here's what I want to offer to everybody, and Leslie's going to take notes because she's on the train. think of a couple of things. One is destination decluttered. We talk about what are you aiming for, but before you can even start to define your destination, a couple of things to do would be to check in with your physical body. As I like to say, because I like to use the word down as a verbal prompt to remember to do things. So I start at the top of my freshly cut hair and I go down. I do a scan down from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. And I just scan like TSA, how am I feeling? Any pains, any aches, anything I could improve upon, even 10%? Well, I feel like I've got a little something in my eye, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. So scan down your physical. If there's something that feels out of whack, what can you do to change that? And then do the thing. The next one is going to be all the downs, which is going to be calming down your nervous system. If it's riled up, you want to calm it down. So I offer to you sitting down, breathing down, drinking down some water, or in my case, I'm going to have a sip of tea. Quieting down. Maybe you quietly whisper to your backseat driver, shh, quiet down, hush. Maybe you shut the door. Maybe you shut the windows. Maybe you turn off some of the lights, especially the overhead ones. Quieting down, slowing down. One of the ways you can do this is even writing down things, because your physical writing body does not move as quickly as your brain. So slowing down your brain, shifting gears. Okay? So after you've done physical, after you've done, as I like to say, energetic, nervous system, that type of thing, that is when you say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit better. Okay? So what I want to offer to you is, then that's when you say, what's my destination? So write that down. Then after physical and energetic, then you say, okay, what's my destination? Notice how I said, I have some free time today, and I don't know what my destination is for 8 p.m. today before the YouTube, the TikTok, excuse me, the YouTube live. Sherry Aarons is saying, I am getting a new puppy on June 30th. So destination, new puppy on June 30th. Destination decluttered, the new puppy episode. I have to get the floors picked up in the living room and bedrooms. Notice what you did. In order to have the, and I would, this is the thing too. It's not like Law and Order, like boom, boom, destination decluttered, boom, boom, like the puppy episode. But then elaborate. Why, how do I want my home to look when the puppy arrives? How do I want my home to function when the puppy arrives and lives here? And how do I want to feel about my home when the puppy is here? Elaborate. The more specific you can be in creating a destination, the closer you will be to feeling good about where you're going and knowing what to do. So knowing that it's the floors you need to focus on and the living rooms and bedrooms, but notice that you want to make it safe so that the puppy doesn't eat anything and then get sick. You want to make it so the puppy doesn't, poop in your laundry basket or something. So notice the specifics that come up that are surrounding that general detail and destination. Kind of like, again, you think of a destination, a vacation destination. And Leslie says, good, I love that you're asking follow-up questions. Thank you. So what I want to offer to you, Leslie, is should the destination be focused on today rather than further out? They work in tandem. I prefer to think of this is having an overall destination, like a larger goal that you're working towards, allows you to get specific about what you're going to do today that will get you closer to that destination. So destination, it could be a very general one, decluttered house. What can I do today, and while I'm chunking it down, to get to that destination of decluttered house? I can pick a room. I can chunk it down to a room, a surface, that type of thing. So what I say is both of your destinations, your daily destination should keep you on the road to your bigger destination. And to me, honestly, because I'm a decluttering life coach, what I want to offer is the destination is really feeling okay, feeling good, feeling better than you do now in your house, in your home, in your life, in your head, feeling better than you may feel right now. Now, if you feel good right now, like I do, pretty much my destination is maintaining that feeling. I like how I feel now. I like how things look. I mean, technically, our house is a freaking mess because of the basement, but I will get on that. But in general, I'm feeling pretty good. So what can I do today to maintain that level of feeling good? So it's kind of the both and, as they would say. Focused on today, it should be further out, is like your guiding light. The guiding light. I watched General Hospital instead. Is like the North Star. You aim for that, your true north. It's north. You're heading in that direction of someplace you're going. And every day you're on that journey. So that just kind of keeps you in line. Because if you don't have that North Star, you could be just veering from this place and you're going here and you're going there. And you may not feel like you're making any progress in any one direction. Okay? And I'm glad you love the learning. So please do. Where I skip over something unintentionally and you want to know more, please ask me questions. I love it. Also, this is a great thing. So notice how we were saying earlier, what do you call it, Danielle? Danielle was saying she's feeling bad about her little kitty passing away. But then she's also helping somebody in your grief while you are not feeling perfect. It's not an all or nothing. I don't feel good, therefore I can't do anything else. I can't help anybody else. But this was a really good thing. So Danielle is reminding, and I'm always bad with names here because I get to scroll, Sherry about getting the new puppy. Look at laptop cords and cables. So write down, remember to rejigger those so that the animal, your pet, does not chew on them. Okay? So notice that. And notice that you don't have to be perfect in order to move forward in your life and to help other people. And sometimes when we help other people, it gets us out of ourselves and it reminds us there's something going on outside of our grief. That yes, we can grieve and we can help people. And sometimes that can help you heal. Now, Cat Mama is saying, motivator for me. One senior cat left. Oops, and then it moved. Lost one in January suddenly. Want house to be safe to adopt 2 after my boy. So notice, Cat Mama wants more cats in her life, so she wants to be able to have the house in good condition for new kitties. Now this is cool. Nana Joe, I'll have to try this out. Nana Joe is offering, I recently took pictures of my bookcases and asked ChatGPT what I could do to improve. And I'm using, improve because that's kind of general. It gave me great pictures and I reorganized them. So I would get curious what it told you to do. It's really interesting to see what people and what artificial intelligence is suggesting. And I could learn a thing or two by what they're, offering. I dig what I'm doing, but I'm always open to learning new things. That's how you stay young. I remember growing up, there was a thing, you become old by not growing. It was on the cork board that was posted on the back of the basement door. Now, Danielle says, that's awesome to Cat Mama. I can donate some things and prepare life for a new baby. Yeah, maybe even volunteer at a shelter. Yeah, so notice what you can do to ease your grief. You can go cuddle up with some other kitties, So do not identify with your grief and give yourself time to heal, but do not wallow in it. Allow yourself time to heal. I love that it gave you step-by-step instructions. Really interesting. I love that. And the cool thing is, I'm not threatened by ChatGPT because you know what? ChatGPT will also not burst into song and make you remember to this is how we do it. I doubt that ChatGPT came out at you and says, well, this is how we do it here at Destination Decluttered. So there is a place for me in the artificial intelligence world because I have real human intelligence. And I have the intelligence of a woman who grew up, and I'm Gen X, and I watched a wicked lot of TV and listened to a wicked lot of radio, right? And as we all do, right? And that connection, ChatGPT is kind of like, here's the facts, ma'am, and I like to entertain as well as inform. And ideally inspire, because inspiration, that spark of inspiration is what might set a fire under you to do something. And Leslie says, there's no replacement for me, Beth. Well, thank you. Yes, you would go look me up at Replacements Limited, and they're like, no, she's a one of a kind. Talk about unique. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby, for saying I do it all. I try. That's all I do, and that's what I offer to you. Just show up and try your best. And not even try your best. Try 70%. That's good enough. Just try a little bit. Try a little bit. Could I do better? Possibly, but am I doing okay right now? I think so. So I'm good with this level. You can do it. You can do it. And I'm here to just remind you of the possibilities that already are inside of you that maybe just need a little spark. And then I can help you spark it, but you're the one who needs to kind of fan the flame and get it so it's, keeping burning. Now I feel like I'm at Girl Scout camp. So, decluttering. You do what you know how to do, and you probably do it well. Pinky Silver Chloe is saying tap for Beth here on TikTok. We've got 93 people here. There could be some tapping. I don't know. It could be EFT. It could be tapping. I don't do a lot of that. Motorboat. But, that could be a thing. Maybe you'll get more people liking this. So let me just say quick things to the new people. So if you've never met me before, you're just scrolling on TikTok and you saw this lady with the short hair talking about random stuff. I'm not as random as you think. I always have the through line of I'm Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. So I help you declutter not just your home, but your head and your heart and all the things that feel too cluttery. I help you with that. And I do that by doing TikTok lives, YouTube lives. I do one-on-one paid coaching. We have decluttering parties. There's one tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It's already Thursday, June 5th this tomorrow. And how you get all sorts of information about this is pretty easy. Go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, and sign up for my mailing list, and you get access to a hidden page on my website that gives all that information. There we go. Yeah. Now, Barbara is saying, can you or any of you give me concepts that'll make me not be concerned when I see AI on my phone? What is your concern? Right, Barbara, what is your concern? You're old? We're all old. We're all older than we were yesterday. I was saying to Phil, who cuts my hair, we are the youngest we will ever be. Today is the youngest we will ever be. We will never be this, we will never pass this way again, right? Who am I, Seals and or Crofts? We will never be as young as we are now. Spying and getting my info. Okay, so notice that's more specific. Barbara, what I would recommend is, now the neat thing is, for the most part, you are not a content creator. The people like me who could be considering about getting my info is basically what AI does is it scrapes info to learn, and then that's how it has its intelligence to offer things. So Barbara, what I would do is this is when I think Google, who probably gets some of your info too, Google and the internet would be a great place to say, how can I reduce the likelihood of AI on my phone getting my info? And look for that information of maybe privacy settings. They still, luckily there are, at least at this point, still some rules about things. So there may be some things that you can learn. Like that's how I would do it. I would go to Google, I would go to the internet and I would ask a question and I would see where somebody has said like shut off this setting and don't do this. But do not be afraid. Let your fear make you aware that there's something there that does not feel right. But then use that, but don't stay in fear. Take action. If you're afraid of the unknown, take some action to learn something. And you can learn. You've learned to stay alive on this planet this long. Now, yes, and this is so true. Both Shelby and Laura are saying the both. So Laura says with AI, it makes me even more questioning about if something is actual and factual. Yes. And so I love that, which is good. We are now in the era of triple check your sources. Shelby says, my concern with AI is it's becoming more difficult to differentiate what's real or not. You cannot trust your eyes anymore. I could easily put on a filter here on TikTok and I could look maybe 10, 20 years younger. And so it would not be real. It would just be what things look like. So what I offer, Nana Joe says, I'll think of something and all of a sudden things are all over my Facebook. Yeah. There are, this is the big scary thing about literally, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but this is one of the concerns about what's happening with Doge and the government is stealing your information and being able to target you. Now, many things that we see on the internet are to target you for advertisements to purchase items. You think about a sun hat, suddenly a sun hat appears, right? You think about a Posturepedic bra, and it shows up on your FYP. The only way that will work is if you then buy the thing. So I offer to you, Facebook sells your info, so be mindful about what info you share. That's one of the reasons I like to keep our, the information you gave me very separate. All I ask for you is your email address. And then I hide the stuff that I offer to people on a place that can't be scraped on the internet. So notice this. Notice your fear of them getting your info, and then what are they going to do with it? And yes, I am totally not AI generated. They could not. Who would create this? So I take care of my people. But I also say we need to take personal responsibility, if it's something we're concerned about, to please verify your sources more than ever. Video is no longer reliable. I will never forget when Photoshop came along. It was a real game changer, because it used to be we have photographic evidence. That's not true anymore. You can change those things. So finding sources to trust, double checking even those, because we're all human, and those sources you trust are still created by humans. But being able to more easily identify when sources of information are not worth your trust. And do not trust them. Do not give them your time. There are, and I'm totally using quotes here, news sources out there that are not news at all, that are lies and entertainment to keep you in fear so you do what other people benefit from. Notice we need to take more accountability of what we do and to protect our safety, because of the reliance we now have on digital things. Okay, Pat is offering especially verified banking sites. Okay, yeah, Kara, we were just talking about AI came up because somebody, and I'm not going to do names because I always forget names. Somebody said they asked ChatGPT how to, and you've used ChatGPT too, because to research, but the fear of AI getting your information. So all I was saying was the simple thing of finding out what you can do to minimize AI and other things getting your personal information, doing the things to minimize that, but also verifying your sources and finding sources of information, both world news, local news, politics, decluttering, finding sources that you trust that have proven their trustworthiness to you, and not being swayed and distracted by fear-mongering entertainment. Trust your instincts, but also double check the footnotes. Yeah, and everyone has our info, so if you know that, then be mindful of what's coming in the mail. Even if it looks legit, is it legit? It's too legit to quit. Yes, fear can be paralyzing. We talk about that with decluttering. The fear of letting go of something paralyzes you and you can't move. You know what? That's why we turn around and look at the fear and quiet it down and say, oh, you're not something to be afraid of. You're fake. You're completely fake. This is a falsity. This is a lie. You're lying to me. That's not something to be afraid of. But while you are in a reactive state, both, again, this scales, people, this scales. So let's scale it down to clutter and see how you can scale it up to what's happening with news and the world. When you are afraid that something bad is going to happen to you, pain, suffering, hurt, you will retract. You will be in a state of thinking that isn't as rational and clear. It is emotionally driven, and therefore you are not relying on all the information around you. That is why, as I said, if we backed up when Leslie was taking notes about the order of things we do things here, is feeling better physically. Because when you're in fear, you might be hyperventilating, calming down. You may be all shrunk up and you're afraid like this, relaxing your shoulders, calming down your nervous system. when you do this stuff physically and mentally to make yourself feel better, the fight or flight or fawn or freeze, all the F's, quiets down, and then what happens is what I like to call your co-pilot voice appears. More loving, more rational, more balanced, more factual, but still with love in it. So notice that this process, whether you're like, I can't get rid of that thing that was Grammys. Why not? I'm afraid of donating these things I don't want. Okay. That's why I scale it down to what happens within your head and heart and home with clutter. So I offer to you what I'm teaching you right now supersedes. It is bigger than the decluttering, but let's start using it. Let's practice it using something small. If you're afraid of something and that fear causes you to freeze up or panic or whatever, when you get afraid in other areas, you probably react the same way. And when you get fearful, what has been your habit in the past? For me, it has been shutting down, wanting to crawl up and crawl into a ball, receding, not asking for help, getting all quiet, trying to protect myself, like rolling into an armadillo ball. But I know that may feel better in the short term, but in the long term, that does not work out well. I've wallowed in that feeling for too long. What I need to do is get clarity on what really am I afraid of. I'm afraid of feeling pain, feeling a bad feeling, and feeling like I'm going to feel that way for a long time. So notice, if fear is paralyzing, to me, the opposite of fear is love. And I show up in the spirit of love because it helps me move. It helps me connect with you. And so I say this, when you're feeling fearful, identify what that little kid in you is afraid of and approach it from a loving, wiser person who wants to make sure that kid knows there's nothing to be afraid of. Or if there really is something to be afraid of, okay, good, let's make a plan so we can anticipate, if a hurricane comes and nobody told us about it because they decimated the weather thing, what can we do to be prepared? Okay? Now, I love it. Kara's garden, to get moving, Kara says when she's in fear, she gets paralyzed. So what she does is she gets her body moving. So getting your body moving while you are decluttering is a wonderful way of reminding yourself that even when you're feeling a bit iffy, you can still move. So she makes dahlia holes, because she's a gardener, bigger, and she moves bricks, and she sells on Facebook Marketplace, and she's been doing it for years. So notice, fear will stop you, love will get you going. And I'm sure that there's a song out there with that. But that's what you do. But in order to get from fear to love, you have to calm down the fear, quiet it down. And you could shut it up. You could just say, shut up. But that's a short-term fix, not a longer-term good feeling. It's like being in a road. Pretend you are trying to just shut up the backseat drivers, the negative talk, the unhelpful thoughts. And think of it in a car. Think of it if you're in a road trip, and the driver turns around and screams at the kids to shut up, or I'm going to turn this car around. Now they may shut up because they're in fear of turning around or getting hit, and so the car is technically quiet, but it's not a good feeling quiet. It's a scary feeling quiet. What we want is a peaceful, easy feeling, just like the eagles. We don't want the quiet of fear. We want the quiet of understanding and growth and learning and love. Because that kind of understanding and getting it, and everybody in the car is calmed down, makes the journey towards your destination, your road trip destination, so much easier on everybody. Now, talk about being afraid of something. Sometimes there are things to be afraid of. Okie Teacher says, yesterday I had to take shelter at a gas station because of a tornado. So please, do not think I'm not saying there are things. There are things to be afraid of. What is that, 99 problems and ain't one? There are things to be afraid of. Clutter. Clutter pales in comparison to the fear of death by tornado. Yeah. Fear of death by tornado is real. I'm glad you're here after that to let us know you're okay. And I'm glad you had a place to kind of shelter in place. Wonderful. Now, Nana Joe is bringing up something interesting. Now, I am not a licensed mental health therapist. I am a certified life coach, but I will offer to you, she says, I had a therapist tell me I could be afraid of being successful by me not finishing projects. Yeah. Now, I know that feeling myself when I would get into creative projects, and I stopped doing them because with the skills that I had at the time, the product that I created, the result I had when I was done did not match the picture in my head. And I learned to give up and get frustrated and think that I was not good, instead of saying this is part of the process, and if you stick around, you'll get better the more you do. So get curious. There are, I was talking about this. I don't know what you talk to your hairstylist about, but Phil and I, we talk about travel. We talk about deep stuff. We talk about shallow things. It's wonderful. And he was talking about friends of his who have been using excuses to not go traveling. Well, the excuses, the roadblocks that they used to use are not there anymore. But even when those ones are removed, they are putting other ones in front of us. And I was like, it's not about I don't have time. It's not about I don't have money. And it's really not about I need somebody to take care of the dog, because somebody could take care of the dog. You don't have to stay home and take care of the dog. Somebody could do it. It's something a layer deeper. It's not that what you say on the surface. There's a feeling, a thought that creates a feeling inside you that is stopping you from finishing something. And I just say, I'm here to just let you know that, even just in general. And I like to help people go a layer deeper, being like, ooh, what's that all about? I do it myself all the time. I do. And it's really illuminating to me. And especially right now in my life, I'm dealing with some situations that were pretty, calm waters, and now they're getting a bit choppy. But the neat thing is because this is the way I talk to myself now, I can feel better going through the choppy waters than I could even a year ago or 2 years ago. I have learned to regulate my nervous system and not get out of whack, and to get curious and say, what's my destination? What do I want to happen here? What am I afraid that's going to happen? What would I prefer happen as opposed to what I'm afraid of? So I coach myself on the daily. I am open to learning things from other people and learning about myself. So I offer to you, are you willing to look inward? If you are, you're going to get a more satisfying quiet than if you are just cleaning the surface all the time. And we've all been in those houses where it looks perfect on the surface, but you just scratch the surface and you know it's a hot mess underneath. Let's not be the hot messes underneath. Like we talked about, let's clean out the wound. Let's notice that you've scratched, clean out the bad stuff, let it clean so it naturally heals, and it won't be festering underneath. Oh, I can't believe I'm talking about pus again. So that's the deep stuff. But that also applies to clutter. But clutter is also on the surface, and clutter goes even deeper than that layer. It's cool. It's got layers. It's like a layer cake. A layer cake. There's frosting, and then there's like cake, and then there's filling. And they all work well together. So I offer to you, even just those concepts. Now, those are big concepts. Your brain could be like, whoa, I might need some time to absorb this. But I just offer to you, as you get off of this TikTok live in, about 21 minutes or so, when you find yourself in times of trouble, Mother Mary calls to me, when you find yourself not doing something, doing is taking action, is moving your body, or even thinking, because moving your body can also include thinking. When you are not doing something that you said to yourself, I'm going to do that, why aren't you doing it? And again, the answer can be on the surface, it can be stored, and it can be sentimental. It can be variety of layers. I will use myself as an example. I will flip back to yesterday. Did I get these things done? No. Some things I didn't. I did look up the Boston Museum of Science commercial from the 70s and 80s that I loved. That's how you found out what made an ocean wave. And also the New England Aquarium is where I can walk like a penguin. So I did that. So I checked that off. Did I put Cliff's birthday at the beach on my wall calendar? No, I didn't do it. Was it a deep reason I didn't do it? I'm like, no, it's not a big deal and I forgot and no big deal. I can do it today. Notice, total surface. Other things, did I do? Did I text the lady who I might want to get help me clean the house after all this? No, I didn't. There's some stuff there. I just have to do it. But I know that that takes a little bit more thought than just slapping some things up on the wall. So each decision has its own kind of gravity and its own weight. So notice that. Practice making decisions on the surface. So you get practiced. You warm your body up, your brain and your body up doing surface stuff. But you also will feel the frustration if all you ever do is surface clutter and you never get below it. You're never really tackling the true clutter that's probably jamming you up. Now, this is how I approach it, and it works for me. That's why I share it with you. So if you have any questions about clutter or anything I just said, please put it in the comments. I'm going to review. And here's the thing, like some of these things I just didn't do because I got tired. Some things I didn't do because we got invited out to go have wings with somebody. So I'll say like right here, I didn't because we went wings. And then I was on phone with Suzanne. And there was something else that happened yesterday afternoon. It was good. I can't remember what it was though, but it was okay. So I'm not particularly worried about why I didn't get some of those things done. But it hasn't always been that way. I had some things, some deep, dark desires that I wanted to do. Like I want to travel more internationally. I do. I want to become a more confident, I literally have a post-it, become a better / comfortable international traveler. And so how do I do that? By practice. By putting myself in that situation and realizing it's not as big a deal as my brain thought it would. How many of us here, kind of like the woman who does the how long will it actually take videos on TikTok, how many people here have been avoiding something for months and then when you went to go do it, it took like a half an hour? Right here. Right here. So what I am trying to do is realizing it's not going to take that long. The sooner I start, the sooner I can get it done and just off my plate and in the rearview mirror. Okay, so Bobby is saying amen, testify. Ash Chris Love says me, damn it Donna, Heidi D. So this is the thing. This is one of the great things about writing things down. And we say, remember that time when. Learn from your stories. Learn from the stories you tell yourself of when things didn't turn out the way you thought. Yes, and notice, my mind makes me feel like it'll take the whole day, but then actually it just takes 24 hours. Your brain is a wonderful creative machine, but it is not an admin. It is not a good estimator of time. So that's why it will think things will take too long, you will feel overwhelmed, and you won't start at all. Once you realize your brain does not really have a good clock keeping system, you can do something else. You can start by setting a timer and just notice how 15 minutes goes. Did I get some done? Yay. You can calm down your nervous system and not get overwhelmed and just start. You can see how long some of it will take. You can decide you can stop at any time. But the important thing is noticing when your brain stops you from even trying to start. And notice you will do it and it'll be like, oh my God, the thing I was afraid to do that has now changed my life literally took me a minute. Please, it was a minute. Okay. So, yeah. Now, Lori Moore is saying, please put your CC on. Interesting. Ooh, now I love this. So, Lori, I believe you can do that on your side. I will look in and say captions on lives. I'll check that. I'll research that. I'm not afraid of learning something new because I like reading people's comments, but sometimes TikTok's weird. Now, Leslie M., I love that you're kind of chiming in. Decluttering parties are a great place to practice these tools that I share with you. And the wonderful thing is that there are 10 declutter parties scheduled in June alone. I don't know what July is going to look like, and I'm already giving you months warning that August is going to be sparse. Wicked sparse. Okay? Sparse. That's how my brain pronounces it. Wicked sparse. All right? Because I'm going to be going away for many days. But what I offer to you is tomorrow, Thursday, is a morning decluttering party. 9 a.m. 9 to 10:30ish, you know, and then you can show up and it helps you with a number of things that are tools in your toolkit that can help you practice getting into gear as far as decluttering goes, with support and encouragement of me and whoever shows up on the parties. Now, the only way you get invited to those is being on the mailing list and then going to the secret page. So I love these decluttering parties. I get stuff done, I can help people, and you learn where your roadblocks are by doing things in real time. Everything is a theory until you put it into practice. Everything is just somebody's idea until you test it out in the lab. Everything, is it provable? Is what I'm saying working for you? And they're wicked fun. They're low key. We do 3 chunks of 20-minute decluttering where you go to your room and you do your stuff and she does hers, and then we check in with each other. But I'm there for you if you get stuck, and you learn that you can do it. And you learn what are the little specific details that make it easier for me to do it. So notice, what is easier for me? Some people like music on when they're decluttering. I like quiet. Some people like to, dance around the house. I like to sit in one place. Some people like to chat with a friend. I like to be concentrating on stuff, depending upon what it is. You find out what works for you, and then you write it down so you can use those same tools even when you're not on a decluttering party. So they have a ticket price, half of which, and I will tonight, that's going to be one of my things, okay, is I will tonight let you know how much money we donated to the women's shelter, the homeless shelter, in just the declutter parties of last month, and since we started the declutter party. So I'm going to say declutter party, clutter, I print really slowly, party, money report. Because there is a ticket price, because you know why? You know this yourself. You show up differently for things that you pay for versus things that you get for free. That's why you may be struggling with items that you have paid money for when it's time that they're not working out for you, but you're struggling to declutter it, because I paid good money for that. Not just money, but just I paid good money for that. So when you pay for something, it changes your seriousness about showing up. You can literally learn everything you want to learn for a college degree online for free. But do you show up to do that? Or if you paid for a class and you were getting graded on it and it went towards your degree, would you show up differently? So starting and finding out what your unique toolkit is, the things that work for you. I just do this as a jumping off point, and I definitely do not say do everything the way I do, because everybody's wired differently. But I say, here's something to start with, and once you start with something, you can edit it, you can change it, you can modify it. I love that. But you can't do any of that until you put it through its paces. Beta test what I'm saying. Update it and run a new version of it. Which one gives you the result you want of decluttering in the easiest, least stressful way? How can you get to your destination without even activating your nervous system, just showing up and cruising down the road? I love that feeling. And I try to say, how can I apply that everywhere? How can I do this in the easiest way possible, get the result I want, and then I come up with some ideas and I write those down. So I offer these tips to you. So if you're interested in that and you're not on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage, just put in your email address. I don't ask for anything else like that. When you do purchase a ticket for the declutter parties, I believe the checkout thing asks you for a few more infos. I would never, ever sell your info. I would never, ever share it with anybody else, because it's none of their goddamn business. I barely do stuff with your info. The only thing I do is, you've said I'd like to hear from you. So when I have something that I feel like I'd like to share with you, that you've allowed me to send you an email and you don't think it's spam. And if you do decide you don't want to hear from me, I do not take it personally. You can simply unsubscribe, right? So it's pretty simple. So you don't have to fear that. I'm a trustworthy source. And I know that, but You may just have met me. You don't know me, as they would say, from Adam, or I guess from Eve. You don't know me from Eve. So you don't know, but that's okay. That's why I show up and do the TikTok lives and the YouTube lives. I show up when I say I'm going to. I don't bait and switch. I don't try to all of a sudden sell you something. I do one-on-one paid coaching. I do sell a package of coaching for people who want to buy the one-on-one experience, the VIP package. You don't want to just sit there in the audience. You want to go backstage and you want me talking with you about, not about me, but about everything, and I'm helping you, and it's all about you, and it's all about you, and it's all about you. Yeah, that's the VIP package, like if you were buying tickets to a show. That costs you more than being in the general audience. You decide the level that you want to get serious about this stuff. And again, I don't push you. I don't sell it. I let you know it's there. And if you want to get it, kind of like going to the store, it's on the shelf there. Pick it up, schedule a consultation, and we go from there. But that being said, we got 9 minutes left. Let's put these last 9 minutes to good use. I feel like I've been talking a lot, and I may have been talking so much that you didn't feel like you had an opportunity to speak. And when I say speak, I mean, put something in the comments. So I'm going to tune off. I'm going to shut this off at 11 o'clock in 9 minutes. Between now and 11, what's something that you think is keeping you stuck, decluttering, that I can help you with so you have a better understanding of what to do, something different to do perhaps just in 10 minutes. Now, I love it. Damn it, Donna says I needed to hear all of this morning. Then please, please, please write down the things that are important. Also know that this TikTok Live is being recorded and it is being uploaded to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. So if you liked this episode and you missed some things because I was talking and you were writing and I did not pause enough to do that, you can repeat this and you can pause it and you can rewind. There's great things to do with a recording, but the live is great for this connection. Now, J. Teresa Fickle is saying grown kids clothing. How old are the kids? Are they 40 or are they 14? That kind of makes a difference, but not really, but it kind of does. I will be a lot more sassy with a child of 40 than a child of 14 or 4. 26. Okay, J. Teresa, that's an adult. That is an adult. First of all, what I would say is 100% for the people here who are parents of adult children, it is somewhat understandable that your children may not have the best decluttering habits because you, and I don't say this in judgment, you probably don't have the best decluttering habits. And I am surmising this, I am assuming that because you're listening to me, a professional who's good at this. So you're trying to lose me with it. Okay, this is what I would do, J. Teresa Fickle. Communication with the other people. State what you want and state the consequence. Okay, so J. Teresa, I would get in touch with that child. I would say, hey, you left your clothes here and I don't want them in my home anymore. So I would like you to come and get these clothes, and then you have to give an end date, giving a certain amount of time. Please come and get your clothes before this amount of time, or I'm just going to donate them. How does that sound? Could you do that with that child? Now, again, I don't know your dynamic, but I am telling you that it is important for every single person on the planet to be responsible for their own stuff and not leave it for somebody else to clean up. That is not how we do it here. And you will be doing a service. You will be continuing to parent and teach your child how to be by teaching them that they can't just leave a mess and expect it to somebody come out. What timeline? I ask you, what feels good? When do you want those clothes out of your house? And then factor in, where do they live and how hard is it for them to get there? You know what I mean? What feels good to you? I want those clothes out of our house by this, and I say a reasonable amount of time because there may be scheduling and stuff like that. Don't be a jerk about it. Get them out tomorrow or I'm setting them on fire. Be nice about it, but be firm and create boundaries. So what feels good to you? by the end of June, by September, by 2027. You get to establish how long you have those clothes with you. So how soon would you like them out of there? Sooner rather than later is very vague. How about by July 1st? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Whatever makes you feel good. Don't hang on to stuff, and notice that you're making a plan. And even if you have the stuff in your house for 3 months, knowing there's a plan in place for it will make you feel better about it and less resentful. Now, JRazV1 says, I can't let go of my stuff. Well, technically you can, but I get the feeling. I took out my clothes, but V1 says, I can't let go of my stuff. Well, technically you can, but I get the feeling. I took out my clothes, but folded them back and was not able to get rid. Okay. You know what it is? You can take it out, you can fold it. The most important part, and I want you to write this one, decluttering is decision making. Decluttering is decision making, is deciding, do I want this top that I just folded or not? You skipped over the decluttering part. You did the cleaning and the organizing, the folding, but notice, if you tell yourself you can't let go of it, then you won't let go of it. Even saying, I can try that, let me try, let me see what it's like to go through my t-shirts and pick out just one that I don't want and put it in a donation bag. Now, I love it. Kara is offering, you will get it if you watch my TikTok. Now it's 10:56 and Kara said she mentioned this crew, this Destination Decluttered crew, this motley crew as it were, on a TikTok video that she did. So as soon as she's done, I am putting on watch Kara's video. So watch her video and see what she says. She shows by the seashore, right? So Kara and I don't even know each other really except for TikTok, but because of what I have been doing here on TikTok, she is changing her life in the best ways. I love seeing her journey through this, and I can't wait to see what she says on this video that she's saying to do it. Now, Vicky has noticed, I struggle with giving away my now adult children's baby stuff. How do you do it? By finding out why you're hanging on to it. Going a level deeper. If you're struggling, there's a reason you're struggling. It's probably a thought in your head that's causing a feeling in your heart. And it could be having to do with feeling a feeling. So how do you do it? By tuning into your stories. Tuning into the words in your head that are making you feel like I can't. That I'm going to struggle. It is a struggle. By tuning into why did you keep it in the first place? What was your reason? What was your rationale for keeping the baby stuff of my children who now no longer can fit in these clothes, so the clothes are no longer wearable for them? Why did you keep them? And again, I ask you these questions. I don't want you to give me the answer. I want you to write your answer down on paper, because it is so much more important for you to know the answers to your questions than for me to know. My job here is to kind of prime the pump, is to get you started thinking in this way. That there is, if I'm stuck and it's a struggle and I'm telling myself I can't, notice, I tell myself I can't let go of my stuff is simply words in your head. But those words in your head are causing you to feel like you can't do something, so you're not. You flip those words over, I can get rid of some of my stuff, changes the game. I can get rid of some of my stuff. I can do it. I can do it. Feels different than I can't. When you feel different, when you feel like you can do it, you will more easily get started to do it. And yeah, Leslie M is saying pen and paper, so revealing. Now, if you want to type them down to yourself, if you want to text it to yourself as you're on a walk, however you can capture and get down out of your head the thoughts that are keeping you stuck, you will be able to understand why you got sick in the first place. It's like throwing up. I know this is gross. It's like throwing up and realizing, oh, it was because of that food thing I ate. So I know not to eat that again. Okay, old and jaded, I think I need real help. So you might. I am kind of real help, but there's other realer help out there. Massive weight loss, I'm overrun with my big clothes and I can't get rid of it. I will offer to you. You have a thought that's probably fear-based that is stopping you from being more easy to get rid of your big clothes. My off-the-cuff thing is probably you're afraid that the weight loss is temporary and you're gonna gain all the weight back. That's just me. That's what I think sometimes. You know, But yes, but if you do feel like you need real help and need real help, get some real help. It's out there. Uh-huh. Alrighty. So I offer to you, you guys, it's 11 o'clock. Remember, as soon as we sign off, we're going to go over and watch Kara's video. We're going to like it because she mentioned what goes on here during these TikTok lives. And if you're just tuning in and I'm signing off, I apologize. We were kind of two ships. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives. There's a schedule for them that is available to just the people on my mailing list, but my mailing list is free. It's a cool group of people, and get on destinationdecluttered.com is how you sign up for it. Kara's thing is called, I think it's Kara's, I'm scrolling back, Kara's Garden. Kara's Garden. Okay, I bet you could even, as I'm saying the credits are rolling here, I bet you could click on her hyperlinked name right here and go over to her page. Okay, we do have a YouTube live tonight. Some of you heard what time it is. Others of you missed it. Get on the mailing list, and it's written down permanently until tomorrow when I erase it on a hidden page on my website. Okay? Danielle, I hope you think better. Kara's site is Kara's Gardens. And, yep, click the viewers list on top and click Kara's name. I'm going to do the same myself. Always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing some of you tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, there is a TikTok live and then a declutter party and a YouTube live. It's like a marathon of Destination Decluttered, okay? But I'm going to sign off now and see what today brings, okay? I'll see you on the flip side.